Good evening. Welcome to Kenya News Update today. For car enthusiasts and industry watchers around the world, a major story is unfolding that speaks to the seismic shifts in the global automotive landscape. The long-awaited next generation of Alfa Romeo's core models, the Giulia sedan and Stelvio SUV, has been delayed once again. According to recent reports, these crucial vehicles won't see the light of day until 2028. This is the latest chapter in a saga of postponements and strategic pivots that began years ago. Tonight, we're diving deep into what this delay means for Alfa Romeo, its parent company Stellantis, and the future of the automotive industry itself. We'll examine the numbers, the strategy, and the fierce debate between those who see this as a necessary correction and those who view it as a catastrophic failure of vision. I'm your host, and this is our deep dive investigation. Let's start with the timeline, because the story of these delays is almost as long as the current model's lifespan. The current Alfa Romeo Giulia was launched in 2015. The Stelvio followed in 2016. That means by the time their replacements arrive in 2028, the Giulia will be 13 years old. In the automotive world, that's practically ancient. A typical model life cycle is 5 to 7 years. These cars were supposed to be replaced much sooner. Initial whispers pointed to a 2022 launch for the new generation. Then it was pushed to 2024. Last year, 2025 was the next target. Now, we're looking at 2028. That's a 6-year delay from the original, unofficial target. For context, in the time it has taken Alfa Romeo to plan one new Giulia, some competitors have launched 2 entirely new generations of their rival models. This delay isn't just a footnote, it's the central plot of Alfa Romeo's recent history. So, what's behind this massive postponement? The answer lies in a dramatic corporate U-turn on electrification. Back in 2023, the narrative was clear and bold. Stellantis, the automotive conglomerate formed from the merger of Fiat Chrysler Automobiles and the PSA Group, announced an aggressive all-electric policy. The plan was for Alfa Romeo to become a fully electric brand by 2027. The next generation, Giulia and Stelvio, were to be the flagships of this electric revolution, built on a dedicated, state-of-the-art electric vehicle platform. It was a clean break, a statement of intent to compete with Tesla, Polestar, and the electric offerings from BMW and Mercedes. The company even released teasers and concepts hinting at a sleek, futuristic design language for its electric future. The message was, Alfa Romeo is charging forward, literally and figuratively. But then the market began to shift. Consumer demand for pure electric vehicles, while growing, did not skyrocket as quickly as some automakers had predicted. High interest rates made expensive EVs even harder to finance. Charging infrastructure, though improving, remained a concern for many potential buyers, and a significant portion of the car buying public simply wasn't ready to make the leap. Stellantis, and particularly its CEO Carlos Tavares, is known for a ruthless focus on profitability. Faced with these headwinds, the company began to publicly question the pace of the EV transition. In late 2025, the strategy officially changed. Stellantis announced it was moving away from a mandate of fully electric powertrains. Instead, the new strategy emphasized flexibility, multi-energy platforms capable of supporting pure electric, hybrid, and even internal combustion engines. This pivot, while pragmatic to some, meant throwing previous plans out the window. This is where the delay to 2028 originates. The next Giulia and Stelvio are no longer being designed as pure EVs. The entire vehicle architecture had to be re-engineered from the ground up to accommodate this new multi-energy reality. This isn't a simple tweak, it's a fundamental redesign. Sources suggest the vehicles will now be built on Stellantis' SDLA large platform, which is designed for this exact purpose. But redesigning a car takes years. Tooling for factories has to be changed. Supply chains for hybrid components, which are different from pure EV components, have to be established. All of this adds time, and lots of it. The 2028 date reflects the reality of starting a complex engineering project almost from scratch. Now, let's look at the numbers to understand the stakes. Alfa Romeo is a niche player within the massive Stellantis portfolio. In 2025, Stellantis sold approximately 6.2 million vehicles worldwide. Of that staggering number, Alfa Romeo's contribution was around 70,000 units. That's just over 1% of the group's total volume. The Giulia and Stelvio together account for roughly 60% of Alfa's sales. So, we're talking about models that move about 42,000 units per year globally. Compare that to a segment leader like the BMW 3 Series, which sells over 300,000 units annually. Alfa is competing in a premium space where scale matters for profitability, and it's doing so with aging products and a fraction of the R&D budget of its German rivals. Every year of delay costs them market relevance and dealer confidence. This brings us to the core debate. On one side, we have the proponents of the delay. They argue that Stellantis is making a smart, albeit painful, business decision. The head of Alfa Romeo, Jean-Philippe Learned, has defended the move, stating that the brand must respond to market realities. The argument goes like this: launching an expensive, pure electric Giulia into a softening EV market in 2025 or 2026 would have been commercial suicide. It would have been a beautiful, passionate car that nobody bought. By waiting until 2028 and offering hybrid options, Alfa Romeo can cater to a broader audience. It can sell to the enthusiast who loves the brand's heritage but isn't ready for an EV, and to the tech-forward buyer who wants a plug-in hybrid with decent electric range. This group sees the delay as a strategic retreat to fight another day, ensuring the new models have the best chance of success. Furthermore, they point to the financial logic. Developing a pure EV platform is extraordinarily capital-intensive. Stellantis is investing billions, but it has to prioritize where that money goes. Brands like Peugeot, Citroën, and Opel/Vauxhall, which sell in the millions, are getting the first wave of dedicated EVs. For a low-volume brand like Alfa, it makes more sense to use a flexible platform developed for higher-volume models, which spreads the development cost. The delay allows Alfa to benefit from economies of scale and more mature technology by 2028. In this view, 2028 isn't a delay, it's the right timing for the right product. Now, let's hear the other side of the debate. The critics are furious. They see this as a catastrophic failure of leadership and a betrayal of the brand's promised renaissance. Alfa Romeo has spent the last 5 years building a narrative of rebirth and innovation, with electrification as its cornerstone. To suddenly reverse course, they argue, destroys brand credibility. It makes Alfa look indecisive and reactive, rather than visionary and leaderly. For the loyal Alfisti, the enthusiasts who have waited patiently for a true successor to the Giulia, this delay is a bitter pill. They are being asked to drive a car whose basic design is from the Obama administration, while competitors offer cutting-edge technology and design. The critics also highlight the competitive landscape. By 2028, what will the market look like? BMW, Mercedes, and Audi will have launched multiple new generations of their 3 Series, C-Class, and A4 rivals, all with advanced hybrid and electric options. New Chinese premium brands like Zeekr and NIO may have established a stronger foothold in Europe. Tesla will have iterated its Model 3 several times over. Alfa Romeo will be arriving late to a party that's already in full swing, with a product that, by virtue of its compromised multi-energy design, may not excel at any one thing. Will it be the best driver's car? The most efficient EV? The critics fear it will be a jack of all trades, master of none, which is the antithesis of the passionate, focused Alfa Romeo ethos. There's also a dealer and residual value argument. Alfa Romeo dealerships have been selling the same core models for nearly a decade. Showroom traffic suffers when there's nothing new to see. This hurts dealer profitability and morale. Furthermore, the resale value of the current Giulia and Stelvio is likely to plummet as they become increasingly outdated, harming current owners and making the brand seem less desirable. This delay creates a vicious cycle that could take years to recover from, even after the new cars finally launch. So, where does this leave us? We have a brand at a crossroads, caught between the ambitious vision of an electric future and the harsh reality of today's market. The 2028 delay is a symptom of this larger industry-wide tension. Is Stellantis' flexible platform strategy the correct path? Let's look at some data. A recent global survey of premium car intenders showed that 40% are actively considering a pure electric vehicle for their next purchase. 35% are looking primarily at plug-in hybrids, and 25% still prefer a traditional internal combustion engine, often with mild hybrid technology. This split market is exactly what Stellantis is trying to address. By offering all 3 options on the same platform, they theoretically cover 100% of the market. The gamble is that this one-size-fits-all approach won't lead to a car that feels diluted or compromised. The success of this strategy for Alfa Romeo hinges on execution. Can they make a hybrid Giulia that still delivers the legendary Alfa driving feel? Can they make an electric version that has the range and charging speed to compete with dedicated EVs? And can they do it while infusing the design with the passion and beauty that defines the brand? These are monumental questions. The delay to 2028 gives them time to answer them, but it also raises the stakes exponentially. The new Giulia and Stelvio won't just need to be good, they'll need to be spectacular to justify the wait and to resurrect the brand's momentum. In the meantime, Alfa Romeo plans to bridge the gap. We can expect more special editions of the current cars, perhaps with updated technology packs or bold paint colors. The smaller tonal SUV, which already offers a plug-in hybrid variant, will carry more of the sales burden. But these are stopgap measures. The soul of Alfa Romeo, for many, resides in its sports sedans and drivers' cars. That soul is in suspended animation until 2028. As we wrap up this deep dive, the story of the delayed Giulia and Stelvio is more than just a product launch timeline. It's a case study in the turbulent transition to new energy vehicles. It highlights the clash between corporate strategy and brand promise, between financial pragmatism and emotional passion. For Stellantis, it's a calculated bet on market diversity. For Alfa Romeo fans, it's an agonizing wait filled with uncertainty. The coming years will reveal whether this delay was a masterstroke of adaptation or a historic misstep. One thing is certain, all eyes will be on the reveal in 2028 to see if the wait and the strategic U-turn were worth it. For Kenya News Update today, I'm your host. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to Kenya News Update today for more in-depth analysis of the stories shaping our world.